Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mean Gene and KK from the pits. We're here on a Wednesday night Xfinity Series live from, I believe this is Kentucky. Yes, it is Kentucky. We got Chris Cornett in the 44, and David Owens going to be leading us to the green flag here. 140 laps. This is a Chase Playoff Series, and we'll get ready to get green flag racing here. And Jared will be with us momentarily. He's having some computer issues and my throat hurts, so bear with us as we try to get this. Green bumpers and spoilers are Xfinity playoff drivers, so keep an eye on that for identification of the playoff drivers. All right, base car is off. We're getting ready to get racing here at Kentucky. There's a good shot of the 22 of David Brenner. There's 56 on Matt Novello. Horse bath wipes. If you're a whore, you're going to love our wipes, is what their slogan is. As they're about 2 or 3 wide. He's battling right there next to Kyle Lamont and the 6 of Jonathan Kiesebeer as they're trying to make their way here. Oh, we got a car down in the infield. Did not see who that was. That looks like David Patrick on the number 27 off the track. Yellow flag is going to be our first caution of the day. Let's go ahead and see what brought that out. Let's rewind her here, see exactly what happened to Dave. Keep your eyes on number 27 and see exactly what happened here. Here he comes down the backstretch, got Alex McWhorter behind him. Looks like Alex might have gotten to the back of him, or Dave's gonna get loose. I don't know, a little bit of neck coat maybe, or did Alex get in his rear quarter fender? I'm not sure. Let's take another look at a different angle here, but he was all over him. Let's go pause it. We'll get a better shot here of exactly what happened. Let's go on board. Oh, hey now. Let's go on board. We'll go on, let's see. What do we got here? We'll go nose of number 15 and see exactly maybe what happened in slow-mo. All right, here's Alex McWhorter's view. Let's see if he gets into him a little bit, or does Dave just get loose? Man, yeah, it looks like he just gets loose in number 27 there. So Alex McWhorter, I would say he's innocent at this time as we go back to live racing. Okay, I'm gonna get your mic live there. Hold on there, Jerry. Let me get your mic on. All right, Mean Gene, you should be back up and running now. We should have nice clear audio of you if you want to give it a shot.
All right, how about it now? Can you hear me, KK?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Glad to have you, Mean Gene. We just had our first caution of the wreck here, and that was Dave Kirkpatrick. I'm not sure they're giving the 15 a EOL or not, but here comes Alex in the pits after that. Looked like contact. It did not look like contact on my end, but I'm not sure why Dave would have got loose there. But I understand.
Well, it's Kentucky. They got bumps everywhere. I mean, at one point, didn't they try shaving the track to get rid of some of those whoops?
Yes, whoops. They did try to get rid of some Whoopi Goldbergs out there on the track, definitely.
There's no way we're getting rid of Whoopi. I mean, hell, when I went to the voting booth, I was made promises, and one of those promises was if Trump won, those ladies would leave, and yet every time I turn ABC on there, they are on The View. So don't believe them. Don't believe the whoops. All right, we are at Kentucky, ladies and gentlemen. Mean Gene Money here. I got KK with me. Welcome to MRL Wednesday Night Xfinity. We're here live on YouTube, courtesy of MRL Broadcasting. This is race number 3 of 7 in our Xfinity Series chase for the championship. 14 drivers going to battle, and they find themselves here at Kentucky Speedway in Gallatin County, Kentucky. I tell you what, these are gladiators as we are here in Sparta, Kentucky, getting ready to race around this 1.5-mile tri-oval on asphalt. Oh, I hear you in my background.
Yeah, Mean Gene. Oh, that's right. My mic's on. Wrong one there. I'm going to mute my mic. I'm just checking our audio levels there, Mean Gene.
Aha. Yeah, sorry for the delay getting on, folks. Apparently, my computer decided to shit the bed. My computer is not named Amber Heard, and yet it had that same ability. I got 2 updates that it wants to do, and it wants to do them now. It's not taking no for an answer. And it sounds like Kirkpatrick and it wasn't taking no for an answer earlier either, as he ended up getting caught up in that little caution, waiting to see what the MRL officials are going to do as far as handing out those EOLs. But we're here early. It is a beautiful night. We got night lighting on this thing.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about it getting dark out on the track today. There are lights, so that is a good sign here. And we gonna have I think we did about 2 green flag laps until we had that caution come out, so we will see these drivers get another chance at this. Those pace car lights are off, Mean Gene, and they're headed into turn 3 and 4 at the moment, so we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here shortly.
Well, I'm looking forward to my computer pulling all that up as we are at the 75% load in screen. Oh, it's moving faster. It's moving faster now. I'm all the way up to 90. Really looking forward. Here we go, and we are back.
All right, Geico.
And we are green. Look at that. Look like David Owens up there in the 11. He's looking good. I see the 963 right behind him. Who's your leader right now? I'm going to pull up my mod so I can figure that out. Is that Chris Cornell up front?
Yes, sir. Chris Cornett. No relation to Chris Cornell, the late Audio Slave singer. But yes, the 44 is up front, sir, and making a great charge here with the rest of the pack, though, bearing down on top of him.
We are almost there.
Oh, you're doing just fine there, Mean Gene. Action up and down.
Technology, it's our friend till it's not.
That's it. There's a good shot of the 56 of Matt Novella. Case of beer. Joseph Focus in the 98. A lot of drivers here tonight.
Now remember, 14 guys battling for this chase. There's no eliminations, so it's just a matter of accumulating points. We've had 2 races, and our regular season champion, Nate Maurer, behind his finishes of 24th and 18th at Vegas, suddenly finds himself 66 behind the leader and last week's winner, Colin Bollinger. But let's not forget the Rooster, Robert Babcock. Last 3 races, KK, this guy's got 2 wins and then that second place finish last week at Richmond. So as far as hot drivers go, Robert Babcock, he's definitely sizzling.
Yeah, Robert's doing a great job this season and has a lot of momentum here going into the chase as their completion of lap 9 here at Kentucky's underway. But great battles here, especially up front. And there's Kyle Anott and the number 11 David Owens battling side by side. Number 50 of McCarthy, and there's a 3-car breakaway at this moment. Chris Cornett leading that charge in that 44, 50 at McCarthy, and that's the 963 of Jackson.
Yeah, really good racing right here. We had that little incident at the beginning, but right now you're just looking at some 3 guys on fire. Charlie McCarty trying to trace down Tris Cornett. Noah Jackson, you know, that rookie, he's had a couple of strong runs that ended in mayhem and incidents, but he is now running strong. And look at him, he's getting a little wiser, chooses to fall in behind McCarthy rather than make the risky move. Behind them, though, you can see David Cook and Kyle Anott. Kyle's not afraid to make that risky move as he goes right under David Cook in that battle. Those 2 guys continue to push it out, and David Owens running 6th, Joe Amato, Jonathan Quesabir, Robert Babcock, David Brenner. That is your top 5. We're top 10. We are live here at Kentucky, lap 11 of 140. And remember, race fans, ooh, little wiggle by Cornett, and that's going to let McCarty draw side by side. And McCarty going around the outside, he is going to have momentum. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a new leader right here, KK.
Yeah, that little mistake's going to cost the 44. The 50's got maybe the preferable line on the outside, and Chris looks like he might back up that corner on an entry and see if he get a good drive off and maybe take advantage of the 5-0 again, as the 50's going to have a little more momentum maybe coming down the backstretch here at Kentucky. It's going to be a drag race down into turn 3.
And right behind them, Noah Jackson. He's loving to see it. Another guy happy to see it's got to be David Cook. You can see Cook starting to come into that picture now. You know, this is a 1.5 mile track, so you are going to get some speed. And so the wiggles could cost you positions really quickly, or at least close that gap. So that 3-car breakaway, as sexy as it was earlier, not looking quite as attractive now as David Cook is trying to make his way into that picture. David Cook, remember, he's right in the middle of that chase championship, winner of 3 races. Not going to be a surprise if we see David Cook get up there. You know, David Cook, he loves riding that outside lane, but that's really hard to do here at Kentucky, isn't it, KK?
Yeah, it's tough on the tires there, but I feel like David likes it a lot, and he's able to make it work at other tracks, so shouldn't be too difficult. I just don't think he can get real high in 3 and 4. Turn 1 and 2. Yeah. The high line works pretty well, but 3 and 4 is just not. You can't run the wall. You got to, the high line does work, but just don't run the wall. That's a little too far out there.
Well, you could run the wall, but you might run into the wall, especially when you wear out those tires. This asphalt track has been known to chunk them out. Luckily, no brakes going to be used here today, except once they go into the pits. Remember, these guys are racing 4 stages as well today. Going to have 2 stages, the opportunity to get a lot of points right there and make up these gaps that we see some of these drivers have separating them right now. Colin Bollinger, he's got a 13-point lead right now on Robert Babcock. Owens, 24 behind the leader. Chris Cornett, your current leader, 44 behind, but those 44 points, that doesn't mean he's in trouble. Remember, there's 32 bonus points out there as far as lead a lap, lead the most laps, lead the fastest lap, get the pole, and then those 2 stages, that's a possibility of 10 more points each stage if you win. So Cornette, right now, he is the master of his own destiny, and he finds himself in the land of unbridled optimism, leading this pack. Lap 16 of 140 as these guys are racing hard to that first stage break at lap 45. Look at David Cook as he comes into the picture right now. These 4 cars looking really good, and I want to commend the patience right now of Noah Jackson and that 50 of Charlie McCarty. Both of these guys have had an opportunity to make a risky move to get into the lead, but they are exuding nothing but patience and class as they are trying to find their way up and get even with and maybe push that 44 of Cornette. Cornette, though, he finished the season in 4th. That guy has got nothing but confidence in his ability to run out there. He's in that number 44 Bowtie Chevrolet. Can't see his sponsor from this blimp angle. Speaking of sponsors, who's our sponsor of the blimp today, KK?
Michi, that's going to be farmersonly.com. Remember, race fans, you don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Big thanks to shout out there to the Farmers Only blimp and supporting us here with these great shots once again.
Yeah, really seeing the action up here, especially on this 1.5 mile track. It's kind of easy to get lost. Other drivers have noticed, I'm looking down the field, people that I like to keep an eye on. I like to watch everybody, but there's just certain guys you can't help but root for. One of them's going to be that 57 Toyota of Tommy Fox. Tommy right now, he's running in 10th place. Had a good year, up and down for Tommy. Been a victim of a few circumstances that were a little bit beyond his control. But right now, he's got that 57 Toyota up in the top 10. Good run for Tommy here today. Keep it up, my friend. Can't wait to see you on Friday. We run together on Friday, at least as together as you can be when he's winning races and I'm finishing last. Matt Novella also out there. Matty had a great podium finish last week. And so he's out there in that 11th place, and he wants to continue to move his way up the polls. A lot of points out there to be collected, but no more points than could be had by that winner, Chris Cornett, right now. But, buddy, I tell you what, Noah Jackson, he's tasted that lead before in other races, and right now, look how close he brings it up on Cornett. And he's trying to ride that outside that we were talking about, but watch how hard he's going to slam that thing down coming into turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, looks like he's going to definitely get him here off the exit. And there you go, new race leader there. Noah Jackson takes over going down the backstretch, entering turn 3. So 963 bid his time. We'll use his tires wisely. Let's see now if David Cook maybe can make his move up closer as we got some comers and goers right now.
Yeah, these guys are really starting to tighten up. You can see how quickly Cornette moved backwards. Then that 50 of Charlie McCarty also slipping by Cornette, and now David Cook's knocking on that same door. I don't know about you, but I'm not really a fan of those knock-knock jokes. Knock-knock, who's there? David who? David taking third place. And you can see Cook. He is side by side coming into that turn. Cornette letting off. Makes me wonder, KK, did Cornette push that car just a little bit too hard as we see him go from first all the way back into fourth place in just 2 laps?
Yeah, he might have. He might have pushed it too hard, trying to hold on to that lead, maybe do some blocking, but we'll see how he holds on here. And no need to worry just yet. Still a lot of laps left on this pit stint, so wouldn't worry too much. If he starts dropping like a rock, then I'd worry, but third place right now isn't too bad.
No, he's still looking good. You know, he's out there trying to collect points. He needs good stage finishes. I think patience is going to win the day. Speaking of patience or lack thereof, there's Sean Walt, Joe Amato coming into the picture. That 28 Chevrolet Amato. You know, I also run with him on Fridays, and he's never been afraid to use that green bumper to get people out of his way. If I'm Cornette and that car is not handling 100%, you know, patience. Caution might be the better part of valor, and if I'm Cornette, I might just take that high line and let Amato go right on by. Amato gonna go high instead, and look how much space he loses going into the turn, but I think we're gonna see him close that gap with that exit speed. Cornette, though, he's got big brass ones, and he doesn't mind getting in the way with that little blocking maneuver. I'll tell you what, there's a few guys out there I wouldn't really want to block, and that 28 of Joe Amato's one of them.
Yeah, he's not Omaha Steaks T-Bones are not, you know, it's no coincidence they wanted to pick Joe as their sponsor.
And he's not just a member, he's the captain. And there we go, Cornette definitely making the right call. Lets Amato go right on by. And I'll tell you, here's another car coming into the picture, Robert Babcock. This guy's making his way up. He was running in those teens, and now Babcock making his way up into 6th place. 7th place behind him, Jonathan K. Sabir. Tommy Fox making his way into 8th. He's just moving right up that Christmas tree. Matt Novella at 9, and Kyle Lynott in 10th. So a lot of Chase drivers are in that top 10. But right now, top 2, Noah Jackson, Charlie McCarty. Those 2 guys are not in the chase, but they are leading this race right now. Lap 26 of 140, but remember, we're racing to that 45 lap mark for those stage points. There will be a caution, and remember, 5 sets of tires, 1 on the car, 4 in the pit, no quick repairs. So let's try not to make it too much of a show out there, guys, or you're going to be banging on ball-peen hammers and sawzalls and duct tape for everybody. Right now, Noah Jackson, great lead. Those 2 Toyotas out front just looking smooth.
Yeah, and then further back in the pack, we got the 57 Tommy Fox and John Casabir in the 6th. They've been battling out, switching spots all night long here as they've been running into each other, just a little bit door slamming each other, but it looks like they still can't get this thing figured out. They're still running side by side here. Mean Gene has a hand.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's tight behind him too. Look at Tommy. I thought for a second he was going to let Jonathan go by, but instead Tommy in that black 57 on the outside, he's going to hold that line firm and use that superior exit speed running that outside lane. But you can see what's happening there. All these cars starting to tighten up. You know, the time of sweet tires is over, and right now these guys are just trying to hold it together. Tommy Fox, Jonathan Casabir side by side. Hey, Kyle Lynott, he's checking the asphalt below that apron, and it's a little dangerous down there, my friend. Let's keep it up top. Behind them, you can see Matt Novella, David Owens. So we're getting a real strong running from the Gulf Coast Racing guys. Ooh, big move by Lynott as he cuts hard under Casabir, gets side by side with him, gets underneath and by him, but I imagine that outside lane, that speed, unless Lynott comes up with a little slide job, that might come into factor. And look how quickly the Gulf Coast guys catch right up, as you can see Novella and Owens now coming into the picture. Owens needs a big day today if he wants to keep in this race. He's only 24 points behind. If Owens could pull off something sweet here today, we might be talking about Zero Chill as one of the top guys in points.
And another guy, part of that Golf Course Racing team is the 98 Joseph Volpus there. He's running in 16th place right now, but definitely keep your eyes on him. He's starting to pick off a couple spots here and there as him and the 13 battle it out side by side.
Yeah, Joe Volpus, that's a guy, talking about Joe, that I've been waiting to have a good performance. We've seen Joe lead laps. We've seen Joe take a pole. But what we haven't seen Joe do is be able to put it together enough at the end. He's often running up at the front at the end, and he just gets caught up in the soup. Lots of rookie drivers. It's not that any one individual is making a mistake. It's just getting used to each other. And unfortunately, we have seen that 98 of Joe Volpus upside down more than once. I mean, I've seen his undercarriage more than I saw under my girlfriend's skirt in high school, and that's just, more than you can count on one hand. Okay, I'm lying, it's less than one hand, but the point is, I shouldn't be looking at Joe Volpus's undercarriage that much. Look how tight these cars are right now. Babcock has to let off to not smash into the back of Cornette. That's going to let Tommy Fox pull side by side. Tommy Fox piloting this thing up into 7th. He's on that outside lane. If Cornette goes slow enough, he might hold up traffic, let Fox get by. Kyle Lynott also in that picture. David Owens, Jonathan Casabir, Nat Novella. There is some serious racing going on right now. Noah Jackson, he's got a 7/10 of a second lead. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to let you forget about what's going on up in the front. Charlie McCarty still behind him. Joe Amato looking good. David Cook, Chris Cornette, though, leading this big pack of cars. It's getting tight there. You got to wonder what will last longer, tires, patience, or maybe another caution.
Yeah, big shout there to Tommy Fox. He's gained 20 positions from the start. He's up 21 spots now. So big mover right there in Tommy Fox. And our biggest loser right now is going to be David Brenner. Alex McWhorter, after serving that EOL penalty, he's down 21 spots. Dave Kirkpatrick, after hitting the infield grass, he's down 25 spots, running at P28 right now, as these 29 drivers continue to battle it out as we complete lap 35.
And more laps to go until we're going to award a stage winner. We will see a caution at that point. Ooh, look at that entrance speed by Kyle Lynott. David Owens, he's trying to get up by Tommy Fox. You can see Babcock let off. That almost puts him into Jonathan Casabir. It's amazing to see what happens with these cars. If you let off just a little bit to show some patience, those cars behind you draw in really tight. But I want to commend all of these MRL Wednesday Night Xfinity guys right now showing that patience. I think that caution on lap 2 might have given each of them a little reminder that you got to give and take here, or else your race could be over really fast.
Tommy Fox up in the wall there.
Yeah, that is not going to help your run.
No, he's going to lose quite a few positions here with all that momentum being lost.
Yeah, this ain't Martinsville, and you ain't Richmond. Was it Richmond or Martinsville where that foolishness occurred? Where he rode the wall, the watermelon. Martinsville. This ain't. Yeah, this ain't the. You're not a watermelon farmer, and this ain't Martinsville, so not the place to do that at. And Tommy Fox, he's back on pace though. He did lose a few positions. He's still in ninth. Still got that top 10 run. Speaking of top 10, look at that. The number 7 of KB, Kevin Brower, now coming into the picture. Been a second since we've called KB's name. Good to see him back up in the top 10. You can see Case of Beer fading, and there's our man Joe Volpus coming in the picture. Pits are open, and it looks like one of our first takers is going to be Kyle Lynott. He is bringing that number 988 in there. I wonder if that's an area code for him or something.
I think it has to do something with his sponsor there. It might be. I'll have to look into it. That is a great question.
Maybe we could do an unsolicited, unwarranted interview with him in between on the caution and be like, hey, what's up with that?
Yeah, that's a great segment.
The what's up with that segment. Speaking of what's up with that, look at Volpus and Tommy Fox and Kevin Brower. They cannot get this thing figured out. Lap 39, 6 more laps until we do award some points. Really good racing right now. Amazing how tight all these guys are to each other in the middle of the field, middle front of the field. Remember, we do have 28 guys out here today racing away. 29. I forgot how to count. 29 guys racing, so to only see that one caution on lap 2 and then be going green this long afterwards. Really a testament to the patience of a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, this little battle here from about P11 all the way down to P20. This really close battle. There's a little pack of cars here all battling mid-pack right now. So, like they say, qualifying position is important and they're able to keep your spot. But you can see someone like Alex McWhorter to have that EOL penalty, still fighting his way through the sloth there. See if he can. Remember, he did top off with fuel though when he had started that EOL, so we'll see when he makes him come in the pit as we have some more pit stops that are happening underway. That's Tommy Fox and Aaron Espy in. Charlie McCarty is in also in the number 50 Supra. He's putting on tires right now, getting ready to flip the stage, it seems, as David Owens takes over the lead over Joseph Amato.
Yep, and Owens, he is side by side right there as my video ninja finally pops up. Thank you, Dell Technologies. And I can see that side by side racing. Owens, though, going to give it up. You do not want to fiddle about with Joe Amato too long. Joe Amato, he is the Golden Bumper winner, most incident points this year in the MRL Wednesday Night Xfinity. Congratulations, Joe Amato, winner of the Golden Bumper Award. It was a tight race. Sean Walton thought he was going to have a shot. Steve Lewis was started strong. Lewis, though, backed off on the incidents, and he came up short. And the captain of T-Bone Racing himself, Joe Amato, going to win that Golden Bumper. Right now, though, Joe Amato, he'd like a whole lot more, as he is running up there front and fighting with David Owens. But David Owens, he is your official leader, as I guess Amato trying to get a lap back. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. As my iRacing just crashed there, Mean Gene. So take it away.
Isn't that a Dave Matthews song? Crash into me. You or me? Anyway, let's go freestyle. David Owens, he is your leader right now. Remember, pit cycles have started. We are on lap 44. Some of these guys are pitting. Others are going to run it out. Looks like David Owens, though, he wants those 10 points. Got a nice 3-second lead over Chris Cornett. And as we come around, finishing lap 44, I think it's going to be David Owens. He's got a good lead over the next driver, which is Chris Cornett. And there it is. Bada bing, bada boom. David Owens is going to take stage 1. Congratulations to the number 11 car. He's in that Tootie's car. Apparently, that's a bar in Nashville that's very popular, but not for people over 50 like myself. As I'd never heard of it before until I saw it on his car. I guess that means sponsorship does work. David Owens going to get the 10 points for the stage win. Matt Novella, Joe Volpis, second and third. Gulf Coast Racing with the podium sweep here at the end of stage 1. Chris Cornett, he does hold on to finish 4th. Sean Walton, he of the front bumper, he's going to finish 5th. Hunter Manley, hey, that's a chase point driver, going to finish 6th. Nate Maurer getting back up into the points, 7th place. Andrew Bolander, 8th. Christopher 9, and Colin Bollinger, 10th. So 9 of the 10 guys getting points are chase drivers, so they need that to happen. Other chase drivers not having quite the day, though, right now, as I look down the field. David Cook, he did. It looks like he's down toward that bottom. Perhaps he's on some pit strategy. We'll have to see how that goes. Other drivers choosing to pit. Noah Jackson did come into pit. Kyle Lynott came into pit. So these guys are going to flip that stage to give it up stage 1. Looking forward to stage 2. But you know what, KK? If I'm looking at it, I might as well say, hey, I'll take stage 1. You can have stage 2, and then I'll take the win. Pits are open, and we see cars coming into the pit. David Owens is going to lead them in, and his Gulf Coast teammates are going to follow. Chris Cornett also coming in. So big old line of cars, and we'll just see how deep this rabbit hole goes, as these guys are most likely looking at taking 4 freshies and getting a full tank of fuel. I'm watching the pits as they come in right now. It is mass confusion, but these guys doing a really good job of keeping it clean.
Yeah, I mean, Gene, I just got confirmation on that number. 988 is the number for the suicide and crisis hotline number.
That is a noble cause. Really noble cause right there.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, just bear with me. I don't know what's going on. I've tried to log in twice to the game and I'm having issues. So I just hopefully we can get in on the third time's a charm. But yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. It's been plaguing me here and there. I know in the beginning of the season it happened a couple times and we've had good luck since then. But yeah, hopefully we'll get this thing back underway. But if not,
we're gonna keep it working.
Yeah.
We might do some radio stuff, huh?
This is our time. We've been time to shine.
That's right. All right. So end of stage right there. Again, David Owens with the win. He might be shy. He might be nervous, but David Owens, he'll never back away from an interview. I'm going to bring him on down. See what the man has to say for himself. Hey, David Owens. This got Mean Gene Money here. KK in the pits. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, if I was doing any better, I'd be you. Looks like somebody just got 10 points.
Yes, sir. And much needed 10 points.
Yeah, you're still in it. 24 points behind going into this thing in third place. You're going to get the 10. You're going to get one for leading a lap. If you could lead the most laps, you get some more. You got more stage points. Plenty of points out there for you to try to close that gap on Colin. Colin, he did manage to finish in ninth, I believe, at the end of that stage. So he's going to get 2 points. You're 10, though. That closes the gap by 8. You've led laps. He hasn't. So you're on the right path. Tell me, that outside lane, would you ever try it in turn 3 and 4?
Oh, absolutely. Given the chance to, I will.
I've heard a little bit of drivers get a little nervous about it. They say 1 and 2, they got big brass ones, but 3 and 4 could get a little squirrely. All right. Well, good run there. Congratulations to David Owens, the driver of the number 11 Tooties car. And he is your winner of stage 1. David, thank you so much. I'm going to put you back in your channel, bud.
Thank you, fellas.
All right, Gene,
Mr. Gulf Coast Racing.
Gene, we got video back. Just got to redo some of the settings, but we're back to running.
Oh no, what are you saying? That I have to talk? Mean Gene Money, the voice of MRL, has to talk? Oh Lord, I think that's like Christmas morning over here from Birmingham, Alabama. Chris Cornett, he is now being shown as your leader. Joe Vulpes, what a string of pit stops. How did he do that? The guy came in, took a 14.2 second pit stop, and he comes out in second place. David Owens, a 15.8 second pit stop. Not so lucky. Finds himself back in 11, deep in the soup. So all the cars look like they took that opportunity to take a pit, get some fuel, get some tires. And we're expecting to see some really strong racing here as we're about to go green for stage 2. This will be the second stage, and they'll run it out to lap 90. And that'll be another opportunity for these guys to go on and see if they can get some of those 10 stage points that are available. Good to see Nate Maurer. He finished 7th there. Nate was in a free fall without a parachute. Seems like he did find something to land on that 7th place finish, so he needs to close the gap. Remember, Nate, that 971 car, you can see him running up there in 5th place right now in that orange car. He was your regular season leader, so it was kind of disheartening for that 971 team to find themselves in that free fall with an 18th and 24th place finishes in the first 2 races of the chase. So, we want to get back to seeing Nate with his greatness, and I think we're going to see it here today. Ooh, a little bit of blinking by the 26 of Hunter Manley. That's exciting for everybody, especially the 8 of Andrew Bolander right behind him. All right, so pace car is off. The 44 of Chris Cornett. He is in control again. Let's see what he does. Oh, he slow rolls going into the Geico restart zone. Backs up everybody. Vulpes stays with him pretty good. And they're off. The 44 gets a hell of a strong run. 98 of Joe Vulpes in second. He looks like the 56 of Novella actually let off and burped that gas. Remember, he and Vulpes teammates to allow Vulpes to get that correct position. And then Novella falls in right behind him. After that, you can see Hunter Manley, Nate Maurer, the 26 of Manley going a little bit high. He and Nate Maurer side by side, the 8 of Andrew Bolander behind him. That 8, look at that Canes paint job on that number 8 car. That's a pretty paint job.
Yeah, that's a good looking car there, Mean Gene.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen that paint job on him. That's pretty good. Christopher Knott running 7th, Sean Walton 8th, Colin Bollinger. Colin is your points leader right now, running in 9th, and Fred Lister running in 10th. Fred, he's won in this series before, not a full-time driver at the moment, but anybody that's put a dub up on the board on a Wednesday night Xfinity race is somebody to be taken seriously. But the guy to take seriously right now, Chris Cornett. And I got to ask you, KK, Chris was so strong those first 20 laps in stage 1 and then just kind of faded away. You think he learned his lesson, or you think he's going to push that Chevy as hard as he can again?
I think it depends on your gut instinct on the race. If you feel like it's going to be long green flag runs, then yeah, I think he might think about backing it off a little bit. But if he's more worried about track position and just having a really fast short run car and just keeping it flat, it's just different strategies. So we'll have to see what Chris wants to do here.
Well, for me personally, you got to have patience and you got to learn from your mistakes. I simply have no tolerance for people that don't learn from their mistakes. Hold on, that's a phone call from my ex-girlfriend. I've been waiting for this one. Okay, I'm kidding. Anyway, the racing continues. 971 got a little bit woed up there. Not sure what happened to his pace, but that allowed the 7 cars behind him. Yeah, that 971 is definitely off the pace. Look at what happened with Manley there, having to let off the 8 of Bollinger, the 69 of Knott. Every time, not this set of turns, but going into 3 and 4, it just appeared that Nate Maurer was uncomfortable. Look at the 44. Everybody's uncomfortable.
Is it uncomfortable, or are they planning on this being a fuel mileage to the stage? Because is there another stage break?
There is another stage break at lap 90, but there's no way. I have interviewed many of these drivers about fuel, and the one that had the most 4-letter explicatives about fuel mileage was Nate Maurer. I would be really surprised to see if Nate is doing something with fuel. But look at it again, Nate Maurer bunching up the field. Either that or he's just trying to cause a wreck. I know Nate, he's not that kind of guy. So maybe you're right, KK. Maybe he's learned that in this league, if you want to be there at the end, you're going to have to start counting backwards, take off your shoes and figure that out. But remember, you take off your shoes, all you got on is a pair of socks. And if you go sock to sock, things can happen.
Yeah, we got the number 17 back in the pit lane. Looks like Sam came in on lap 53. So just an update on him. Not sure exactly what happened.
Oh, that's too bad to see. Sam Milliken, he is a former full-time driver. Right now, though, he is forced into some part-time action. Oh, it got quiet all of a sudden on my screen. I'm trying to find some drivers. It looks like... Oh, my word. This from the pit. Robert Babcock has parked his car. The Rooster, the hottest driver on Wednesday nights, has taken it behind the wall, and that ends his evening here at Kentucky. Babcock, 2 wins and a second-place finish the last 3 weeks. And now Mr. On Fire, Mr. Un Fuego, has suddenly been doused with a heavy dose of reality and finds himself out of the race this early, lap 58 of 140. But remember, we're racing to 90 to see how we can finish up and get some stage points. Really a big disappointment. I thought Robert would be there at the end.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Robert. Maybe Robert had to start, had something planned tonight, had to, start and park, but that's unfortunate. Hopefully he can make it. Thank you, honey. Hopefully he can make it further into the chase, so that's really going to hurt him.
Yeah, luckily, no eliminations. Remember, these guys will just race the entire season, all 7 races. But so missing one can be a little bit dangerous, or finishing in the back can be really dangerous. Nobody knows that better than Nate Maurer right now. Nate Maurer currently being shown in 8th place. I think you might be right about some of this fuel strategy stuff, because as I'm looking down that leaderboard, Chris Cornett has quickly fallen back to 9th place. People not saving fuel, or they've got a little more confidence in themselves. How about the 56 now? We can see Matt Novella, he is your race leader, and he's got Gulf Coast teammate Joe Vulpes on the outside trying to chase him down. And Noah Jackson, he is back up there again in the middle of this fight. So I think one of these cars needs to get some red in their paint job to make it a little more exciting. Joe Volpus, he's going to try to make that pass on that outside. I'll tell you, I'm terrified of the outside, but these Wednesday night drivers, they are going for it.
Yeah. They got a little touch there between 98 and 56. Chris Cornett vacated that position. Yep.
You start counting backwards, you take your shoes off, and look what happened. That got tight. That cost him 2 positions. Joe Volpus, your new leader. Let's go, Joe. Come on, man. I'll see you on Monday. Joe Volpus, he is up in the front. He needs these points right now, trying to stay active. Joe Volpus, right in the middle of this, 57 points behind your leader, Colin Bollinger. So he would love to make his way up there. Colin running 4th. He's going to try to do a little better performance this stage. He did get points, but he needs a few more. Stage racing at its finest right now. Joe Volpus leading the pack. Going to that wide camera angle that we can see from that Farmers Only blimp. Look at these cars battling. That's that 27 of Kirkpatrick. There's that 28 of Joe Amato. Down on the inside, Sean Walton on the outside. Chris Cornett, Nate Maurer. Good racing. Right there, look at these guys. And that's that 71 of David Cook, 57 of Tommy Fox.
Oh, Joe Amato's not letting the 71 back up on the track there. He's letting them know he's not going to allow that to happen. As Joe Amato gave him a little tough time getting back on track. But interesting to see that the 44 slowed down to join up with Nate Maurer and company. So let's see if there's some strategy going on here, middle of this race.
It could be. This is that time when people start counting backwards. Nate Maurer, that guy started off so fast and then was victimized by some fuel strategies, started the playoffs, started the chase for the championship, caught up in some wrecks. Definitely was not his fault at Richmond. Vegas, though, he definitely had a little bit of fun as we saw him maybe to blame in one of those as he was trying to pinch another driver. And you know who that driver was?
Who?
It was the 28 of Joe Amato. So who knows? Maybe Joe Amato's got a memory like an elephant and figured that was his time to play games. But Joe is not overzealous there. He's going to let Nate Maurer get back through there. You can see Maurer pilot that 971 straight through. That battle that we're seeing right there with the 971 and the 28, that was for 12th position. So those guys a little bit further back. But remember, it's a long stage, lap 65. We got 25 laps to go. So I imagine we're going to see a pit stop in this stage. We did see them that first stage, so I imagine we're going to see them here at this stage as well. This just in, KK. Looks like Kevin Brower, driver of that number 7 car, has also taken it behind the wall. Kevin Brower, KB, the number 7 Chevrolet, has parked it for the night.
Okay, good to know. Great reporting there, Mean Gene, as Matt Novello passes Noah Jackson there for second place. So everybody seems to be pretty happy right there. The closest battle I have right now is with Andrew Bolander and that number, like the number 07 showing up, or the number 8 Haynes machine there. They're 3 wide entering that turn.
Ooh, 3 wide.
Case of beer. Yeah, with the other 07 of Fred Lester.
Now, you might be wondering what happened for MRL last year at Kentucky. Robert Richards, he won. Remember, Robert, he was in the chase for the championship until he injured his shoulder in a softball incident. Hope you're healing up well, Robert. We missed you, brother. Nate Maurer, he finished 3rd. He was the top finisher here at Kentucky. Led 33 laps, which was 2nd of all of the drivers who ran as far as laps led. And he won stage 1. So this is a place where Nate Maurer has run up front before. Caution on the track. That's our second caution of the day.
Got David Cook getting involved. Let's take a look. Alex McCorder strikes again.
Oh, and a little bit of nerve-wracking right there for Scotty Estep as he almost got involved. But good driving by Scotty, and he gets right on through that hot mess.
This is a problem over Alex McCorder, Gene, because that's going to be his second incident tonight, causing a caution. Let's take another look at this on the 15. He was involved with that earlier wreck with David Kirkpatrick, I believe. So let's see what happens here. Okay, it's going to be coming into this turn here. I believe he just gets a little too hot in. Alex going to slam that wall also. So, and good job there by Tommy Fox avoiding some major damage. So, unfortunate for David Cook and Alex McWhorter, but great job there by Tommy Fox avoiding that.
Yep, and that's what I spoke with Tommy earlier about racing earlier in the season, and that's what he said. He said so much of this is just attrition and avoiding those situations. He said there wasn't anybody in particular. It's just aggressive driving. All these guys are winners, and so you never really know when they're going to make that push. Right there, though, Tommy managing to avoid it, finding his way up into the top 10. Right now, pits are open. Everybody going to make an appearance. I saw the window was open, and I said, forget it. In I came. I'm trying to get that $20 while Debo's asleep. And that's what a lot of these drivers are trying to do as well. Look at the times on these pits. 13, 14, 14. They're taking 4. Christopher Knott, 10 seconds pit stop. What do you think? Is that a 2-tire? Richard Swingle, 5. How about Richard Swingle, 5.8 second?
Yeah, that might just be a fuel call there, Mean Gene.
Hey, why not? You know, there's 20 laps left in this stage. Take a chance. Right now, if you're just running it straight, you're playing into Joe Vulpes's game. Joe Vulpes led so many laps there. Good for him. Matt Novella, that Gulf Coast Racing team, they're up front. And David Owens definitely running a different strategy than his teammates at the moment. We saw him back in 13th as they came into that rotation. So, second caution of the day, a little bit of excitement. Gotta wonder, for those of you at home that don't know, MRL officials did make a rule for our Wednesday night series. If you are involved, if you are the cause of 2 wrecks, you are going to get that black flag. They're going to make you do a drive-through penalty under green. If you're in that third one, they're going to hit that DQ button, and you will go the way of Grady Graham and find yourself on the outside looking in. Shout out to Grady Graham, one of the fastest Bristol drivers I've ever seen, and one of the quickest guys to get eliminated from the league I've ever seen. R.I.P. Grady.
There, Mean Gene. Mean Gene, I'll be right back. Dinner's done. I'm gonna grab a plate and I'll be back.
Hey, grab me a plate too. All right. So we are at lap 71. We've got 19 more. Couple cars coming back in to top it off again. So I think fuel strategy definitely going to be a part of what happens here moving forward. Looking at the front, though, Richard Swingle currently being shown as your leader. He chose not to pit. He is on 25 lap old. He might be on older tires because I show him with a 5.8 second pit 25 laps ago. So Richard Swingle, he is up to some shady stuff. Tricky Dick is what I'm going to call him right now. He finds himself as the leader. Colin Bollinger, the 53 Toyota, he's on that outside lane in the second row. And Bollinger is your points leader. He's exactly where he needs to be to close the door on the other drivers. Lots of racing to go in the series as well as in this race, but being in second place on the front row next to a guy on old tires, great place to be for Colin Bollinger. Second row, Chris Cornett, Joe Vulpes. Third row, Matt Novella, Sean Walton. Fourth row, Noah Jackson, Christopher Knott, and that fifth row, Hunter Manley and Fred Lester. Fred, he's been lurking right there on the edge of that top 10. Can't wait to see if he can get himself back into this thing. Other drivers of note, Chase drivers, Andrew Bolander in 12th, Nate Maurer 14, Joe Amato 15, David Owens 16, and David Brenner 17th. This just in, looks like we have got an EOL penalty to Alex McWhorter. So the pilot of that number 15 Chevrolet is going to be shown the back of the bus, and he is going to be sending himself all the way to the end of the pack for this restart. Going to keep an eye on it and see if he gets that black flag. Not sure if he was exactly the cause of that first caution, but he definitely had something to do with it on that one. So we'll keep track and see if he's actually a recipient of that drive-through penalty. Right now, we are about to go green. We have the lights off of that pace car. The 97 of Richard Swingle on the inside, he is going to be your control car. That's who we're keeping an eye on. That outside lane has been really fast. But that inside lane, especially on older tires, Richard Swingle, going to be curious to see if he starts to come up that track, plow right up. All right, pace car is off.
He's going to get ran over.
Do you think he's just going to get run right over? I think he might plow up around the time Joe Volpus or Sean Walton gets there. Here we go. We're coming into the Geico restart zone. 97 plays it straight, and he does not get away. Look how close Cornette keeps it. 53 of Bollinger on the outside. He's going to get 8 up by the 44. 98 of Volpus, the 56 and the 23 are running in that tight second group. Oh, and he did. You were right. Did you see that tap by the 99? Outside goes Volpus, and this is a nightmare for the 97 of Swingle. He took a chance, and just like being late night at the bar, when you take a chance, there's contact. Manley is spinning. Owens caught up in that caution as well. Zero chill. Oh, I know he's got a middle finger out. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's going to be your third caution of the day. That was unfortunate for everybody. Oh, and look at that blue car come in and strike gold.
All right, so let me see here. Looks like I got 69 in the 56, 963. Kind of all start this thing off. So let's keep our eyes on that. Let's see, Matt Novella. Let's get a better shot and slow her down. See, all right, exactly what happened here. Check out the 963, 56. They're going to come together and they're going to get in front of Christopher Knott in that 69. And that's going to cause even more issues for the cars behind them. That's Hunter Oso Manley in the 26. He's going to get caught up.
Who was that plowed up? Was that the 44 plowed up?
No,
no, that was the 9.
Oh, yeah. And David Owens, Joseph Amato, Golf Course Racing almost took out the whole team there from Gulf Coast. Nate Maurer.
So that was Noah Jackson. Noah Jackson, who was running so well, just his car plows up on that track there, and he causes a big old incident. Look at pieces of hood everywhere. That was womp womp. And there's Owens. Golly gee, just hate seeing that, taking out an entire team. This is inside of, Nate Maurer. Good driving right there to get through that.
That's going to bring out another caution here at Kentucky. I mean, Gene, I'm going to relax and eat my dinner here and I'll let you take it away on our fourth caution.
All right, so we're going to see right now, it looks like all of Gulf Coast Racing in the pit. David Cook also in the pit. Noah Jackson, Brenner, Alex McWhorter, lots of cars being forced down into the pit. And nobody can be happier about this than Colin Bollinger. He got up on that, quickly past the 44 of Cornette. I'm sorry, quickly past the 97 of Richard Swingle. Swingle was off pace. That did cause a little bit of congestion. That didn't cause the wreck. It looked like Noah Jackson going up the track, plowing in is what it did cause it. Also, I'm going to clarify that rule we were talking about earlier. Alex McWhorter did get that black flag on that green restart. So he did come through the pits, but then the caution immediately. So McWhorter not going to suffer too badly on that black flag because of that quick caution. Caution being caused by Noah Jackson just plowing up the track. Really strange too, considering that these guys had just taken pit stops. Only Richard Swingle chose to stay out. Right now, though, lap 76. We got 14 laps until the end of this stage. Colin Bollinger in firm control. Everybody's got enough fuel to make it there. I would be highly surprised if any of those drivers in the top 10 chose to come in at this point. Got to stay out there. You got to risk it for the biscuit. Can't hold anything back and go ahead and try to get you a stage win, get them 10 points. And we are awarding points all the way through 10th place for these stages. So these guys need to stay out there and try to do what they can. Somebody who really needs to do it, we talked about it earlier, Joe Volpus running in that 98, looking strong right now, and that has been his MO, has been to have that great showing right in the middle of the race, come in for a pit stop and just get ate up in the soup. If I'm Joe, I'm going to follow the pack as far as these pits go, because pitting on your own strategy puts you at a different speed than the other cars. And I think that's where we've seen a lot of these cautions come from, not just for Joe, but for a lot of these guys. You think you're going at a certain speed, and if you've played iRacing, you know these spotters are not spot on. They're more like spot off, spot get off the couch, because accidents will occur. Lights off on that pace car. We're going to take one more lap around here at Kentucky before we go green. Right now, we got Bolander and Volpus in that front row. Bolander on the inside in that 53 white and blue car. He will be control car. Behind them, Chris Cornett, Sean Walton. Cornett been running up front all day. Tell you what, he's got a great short run car. And I think we might see something out of him in these last 12 laps as he's going to be going for a stage win. Maybe this is the time when he puts himself up a 10 spot. Third row, you're going to have Matt Novella, Christopher Knott, Fred Lister, and Richard Swingle. Fourth row, Swingle still choosing not to pit. Lots of laps on those tires. Scotty Estep, he took a little bit of splash of fuel here, but no new tires. He's in ninth, and Nate Maurer in 10th. That's your top 10 right now. Championship driver Andrew Bolander running in 11th. Kyle Lynott 13. Those guys are in the chase. Joe Amato, David Cook 18 and 19. Going to see what kind of damage Cook took. He was in there for 33 seconds. Going to be interesting to see exactly what he can make if he can turn a chicken salad out of chicken pellets. Pace car is off. It is a little bit of a run before they get to the Geico restart zone. Let's see what kind of strategy Bolander has as he and Volpus are going to be rolling up into it. Nobody backing up, seems to maintain a good speed. He takes off at the halfway point. Good start, and he's going to bring Cornett with him. Cornett and 53 of Bolander go up high. Matt Novella down low, finds his way from 6th into 4th. Great start for him. Joe Volpus gets up to speed, finds himself in 3rd. Sean Walton in 5th. So a little bit of shuffling by those front cars. But it's the 44 is running strong. He takes it down low. Bolander with better speed holds it that middle high lane and starts to pull away a little bit. You can see Joe Volpus trying to close that gap as well. But right now it's Bolander starting to pull away, and 10 laps to go. Oh, 44 is off the pace. Not sure what just happened right there to Cornett. If he is still going backwards, he can't be counting fuel with just 10 to go. But Cornett getting 8 up, Nate Maurer passing him on the outside, Walton on the inside. Boy, they just turned that into a Cornett sandwich. I hope there was some mayonnaise because he got 8 up quickly. Now the Canes car, that number 8, trying to go under Cornett. Cornett falling back into 8th. Lynette's going to put him into 9th, and behind that, Christopher Knott could put him into 10th. Little fallback after that to get to the 27 of Kirkpatrick. So perhaps Cornett can stop the bleeding, but here comes that 27. I think that's going to put Cornett out of the top 10. Unfortunate for him. Took a risk and didn't pay off.
I'd
back
say
up
keep an
front.
eye on him, Mean Gene. He might not come in the pit when we get that stage. Maybe he's trying to save his stuff, not the pit.
He could be. That's twice that's happened to him. It's unfortunate. Right now, Joe Volpus, he is pushing that Ford really hard. He needs this win. It's only one extra point for the stage win, but Volpus got something to prove to himself and his team. He has had those good runs, but it just has not equaled out into anything. Matt Novella behind him, and look at that. There's that 07 National Guard car of Fred Lister. Fred Lister, he's made some big moves here tonight to get himself into that 4th position. And how about Nate Maurer in 5th? He's a second, 1.1 seconds behind, but still running strong. Good to see Nate with a good showing here today. Top 5 right now. Only 8 laps to go in this stage, and those top 4 cars are really starting to tight up. I think we're going to see a battle here as we go down into this last few laps, KK.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Gene, it's going to be an all-out warrior for these stage points because they're all going to add up here at the end.
Yeah, really amazing as we look back in the field to see cars that were running so well at the beginning now finding themselves fading a little bit. David Cook, the 50 of Charlie McCarty, the 26 of Hunter Manley, all finding themselves back in 17, 18, 19. Cornette is still wiggling that car. That is terrifying right there. I don't know. There might be something wrong with that car, and he's just trying his best to keep that thing on a straight and narrow. He's back there battling. You can see that 48 car of Scotty Estep. Really nice shout out to Jimmy Johnson, 07 time, right there running in that 48 Chevrolet Lowe's. Ooh, those guys are close.
Yeah, I mean,
David Cook,
right
David Cook pulled the parachute. He did not want to be in that hot mess. That was funny. He slowed down significantly as he did not like the way that was unfolding. David Cook, though, he's got to get through this hot mess. You can't trust that you're going to get by them in the pits. Cook, though, all these guys back here, they got a little bit of damage to their car. Manley, Cook, the 50 of McCarty. So they're just trying to get to that pit stop so they can break out the ball-peen hammer and get back to work on those rides. 5 laps to go. Woo-hoo, they're so tight in that turn. 5 laps to go as we were watching that racing up front. Joe Volpus still trying to make a move. Really good racing here today. We've had the 3 cautions, but other than that, we've seen some good patience being exhibited, good driver awareness as these guys are trying to keep it as fair as possible. Matt Novella now finding himself up into second, and it looks like they've caught that lap car of Alex McWhorter. But McWhorter, he's a buddy of those Gulf Coast guys, so I imagine he's going to be pushing really hard. Joe Volpus in third, right behind McWhorter, trying to go on that inside lane and get by. And then you can see that 7 of Fred Lister. Great shot from the Farmers Only blimp right there. Nate Maurer coming into the picture. Sean Walton. Those 2 guys just keep seeming to find each other. And then behind them, you can see that number 8 of Andrew Bolander. Wow, what a nice move. Look at Lister just pilot that thing all the way around and do that nice pass on Joe Volpus right there. Great driving by that 07 National Guard car of Fred Lister. Really solid racing. 2 laps to go. We are on lap 88. Colin Bollinger, though, he's got that half-second lead over Matt Novella, and he is thinking those 10 points are his. Fred Lester closing the gap. I don't think he's got enough time to make anything happen with that. At this point, looks like Volpus is just on a triage, trying to milk that thing toward the end. The 53. He's got a broken car of Amato in front of him. Amato, that was almost a block right there by Amato, slowing down the 53. Amato gets out of the way, and Maurer and Lister get by. Woo, Joe Amato, though, slowed down Bollinger so much. Novella took a bad angle into that turn. That's going to let Bolander pull away, and that's going to let Fred Lister close that gap. Lap 90, and bada bing, bada boom. Wow, that was that. I was a little bit nervous. Joe Amato managed to get right in the way of Bollinger, and that let Novella and Lister close the gap. Novella, he just took a bad angle into that turn, couldn't get any exit speed, and that let Bollinger hold on. I think there won't be a conversation between Bollinger and Amato. At least it won't be a heated one, since Bollinger did hold on and take that stage win. But holy smokes, that move Amato did, that was, I believe the cool kids call it sus. No cap, that was sus.
Well done, Jerry. I still don't quite understand what all that means, so you're well ahead of me.
Oh, it's now a straight skippity Ohio, my friend.
Dang it, damn.
But all right, so we're going to end that stage right there. Colin Bollinger, he's going to take that stage win, and he gets the 10 points. Matt Novella, second. Fred Lister, third. Nate Maurer, strong show right there, fourth. Backs up his first stage, 7th place. With the second stage, 4th. Sean Walton. Joe Volpus, he milks that 98 around, finishes in 6th. Andrew Bolander, 7. Kyle Lynott gets up into the top 10 with that 8th place finish. Dave Kirkpatrick, 9. And Christopher Knott is going to take that number 69 forward into 10th place. Hey, some other drivers we haven't talked about in a minute. How about that Stephen Bryan, that New England driver? He finishes 11th. Jonathan Casabir, 12th. And some of those broken cars making their way up to the front now. Looks like the Charlie McCarty in 13th, Hunter Manley 15, David Cook 16. Cook really needs to get in there with the ball peen hammer and get that thing fixed. Other car I'd like to keep an eye on, though, is that 44 of Cornette. He went straight backwards, finished 15th. Not going to be surprised if he's in there smacking that car. This just in, looks like Noah Jackson is going to park it. So Noah Jackson involved in that big wreck when he trucked up the track. He has parked his car. Watching David Cook closely right now. Cook is a multi-race winner in both of our primetime series, the Monday night and the Wednesday night leagues.
So Jonathan
And he is keeping it in there.
Jonathan Case of Beer took a 4.2 second pit stop. So we'll keep an eye on the fuel there. Kyle and Knott, 8.5. Everyone else looks like they took a normal pit stop up about 15, 14 seconds. So just keep that in mind here. Watch those two top cars here as we get ready to go back green.
A lot of different strategies coming into place. Remember, we are going to 140. So we will have about 47 laps, 46 laps that we're going to run once we go green again. So pit stops will be on the table. Other drivers I'm looking at, how about David Owens being shown a lap down after all that foolishness? Makes you wonder. He's coming out with Cookie and Hunter Manley right now, so they're trying to stay ahead of that pace car. But big heavy hitters, guys that needed to have big races, suddenly finding themselves on the hot seat.
Yeah, that Tootsie car looks more like oopsies there.
It's the oopsie car.
It's the oopsies car. Just take that T off.
All right, let's see if I can find and pull in one of our leaders here. Oh, he's way up there. This is going to be interesting. Trying to get Colin Bollinger in here. So he is up with checkers or wreckers. Here we go. Hey, Colin. Mean Gene up in the booth with KK. How are you doing, Knight?
Oh, we're doing pretty good right now.
Well, I tell you what, you're doing about 10 points better after that. You got to feel good. That first stage was a little bit squirrely, but that second stage, you laid down the law. I got to ask you, though, Joe Amato, what was that guy thinking?
I mean, I don't know. He probably was just trying to save his lap down. I mean, it was on the last lap there. I don't know if he was already lapped down or not, so that's what I was guessing. But if he was already lapped down...
No, he was not a lap down yet, but still, you know, when I'm out there with a car that's 20 miles an hour slower than everybody else and I don't have a hood on the front, you know what I like to do? I like to pull right in front of the leader and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we got through it, so... I mean, I was sweating a little, but we made it.
Yeah, they closed that gap, but Matt, he just took a bad entrance into that turn, and he just didn't have that exit speed. I was a little bit more afraid of Fred Lister, but good win right there, my friend. 10 points. That's going to help you in your chase for this championship. You were coming into this thing in first, and after that, you're holding on to it. Keep it on the straight and narrow, my friend. We're pulling for you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to slowly put you back up in there. You're way up there on Discord.
Well, I mean, if there's anyone that's good about putting things in slowly, it's you, man. As we get ready to go down this backstretch, as the pace car lights are off here at Kentucky.
Can I get that in writing?
Lap 94, going to lap 95. You know, I just like take a look at this Klondike bike, car. Every race seems like there's someone out there on track that you ask them what would they do for a Klondike bar, and they'll run right through you. So we'll see if the number 30 can make it through this race cleanly, or if other competitors are going to get a little hungry and be looking for that ice-cold ice cream sandwich.
Taking a chomp. And right now, speaking of taking a chomp, it's Kyle Lynott, Jonathan Casebeer. They're on that front row. Both those guys with quick pit stops. So wondering what kind of tires they have, especially Casebeer, 3.4 second. So Lynott on the outside, he is your pace car. Oh, and look at that quick jump by Casebeer. Oh, my word. He is so fast out of there. Kyle Lynott is on the outside. Matt Novella is still part of this picture. He's running second place on that inside lane. And look at the speed of that outside lane. Kyle Lynott, he's got a little bit better tires than Case of Beer. He's going to push that thing around. Fred Lister, 07, side by side with Colin Bollinger. 971, Nate Maurer. 23, Sean Walton. Ooh, Case of Beer in the 56. They get awful close. The Lister runs a little bit high. Maurer lets off to avoid it. These guys, these tires, whether they're new or old, they're cold right now. You don't want to be making some crazy moves.
Yeah, and there's Matt Novella on the fresh tires, really making a charge as he's off to the races. That's a good sign for him, as the rest of the field's going to have to make it past this blockade of fuel only. And here comes Sean Walton looking to make a move down underneath the 6, but the 6 dives it down low. Is going to put a block on the 23, but the 23 is going to put a nose underneath him. 4 wide as the Lister goes out on the outside of the Budweiser car. His cars are going to have to make some dangerous moves with those 2 slower cars on the outside. Nate Maurer going to go underneath with Colin Bollinger in the 53. As the progression looks like it's going to be underneath on the low line to get past these slower cars. But here comes Chris Cornett, high line 44. Oh, the 6 is going to put a block on as Dave Kirkpatrick now is going to get by. Oh, that is not going to sit well with the 44, Mean Gene.
Just screaming, look, they're 3-4 wide. This is insane racing right now. I mean, we just started. Your tires aren't heated up. What are you thinking? Look at David Cook getting involved, trying to get by the 69. He's going to make it 3 wide. Kyle Lynott down there. Will he get by Case of Beer? Let's see who Case of Beer blocks next.
That's right. The Case of Beer's got this buzz for you, as he's trying to do a lot of blocking there. Oh, the 69 gets a little looser in front. Oh, Kyle Lynott finally is going to give up his endeavor. Oh, the 71 comes out of the Klondike bar. The Klondike bar saves it. No. Oh.
He just took the wrapper off. He didn't bite into it. Just took the wrapper off. He's still going.
He took it out of the freezer. He didn't want to hurt his teeth yet. Oh, the 6 goes up in front of the 98 and get loose. That's going to cause another pile up as the 98 turns the 6. And that's going to be your 6th.
Say it isn't so, Joe. Every race, KK, every race, I'm watching Joe Vulpes, and then some foolishness occurs, and right into it. Joe Vulpes, not what he needed here today. He had good showings. I don't want to pull for any specific drivers, but I definitely want them to keep their cars on the track and not be victimized by others. Vulpes still got that thing rolling, but oh my word, after the Klondike excitement, and then Case of Beer was just taking turns blocking people.
Yeah, and then with all that craziness happening, Fred Lester is going to be our leader at the moment. Let's go back and see if we take a look at the crash.
He just came right up the track.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
Joe might be okay.
Joe might be okay. Case of Beer is going to have a little bit of damage there, I believe. So that's going to put a little more insult to injury after that daring move of no tires by the 6 team. They'll be rethinking that there over some ice cold buds.
Hey, I'll tell you what, did you see who just went around as that lucky dog? That was the 11. David Owens going to get back on that lead lap.
All right. Well, the Tootsies might have just earned back its T instead of being oopsies, as he's going to have a chance. But that car is not looking too straight there, Mean Gene.
And here's coming like everybody for some... No, he's sideways. Look at it.
Yeah, he looks crookeder than the girl walking out of the bar down in Nashville out of Tootsie's right there.
Oh, that's disgusting. Hey, do you have the address for that bar?
Yeah, I'll DM you.
I'll see you at Nashville, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think that's where our company retreat is going this season there, Mean Gene, after the race with all the donations and the payments we've gotten. Is our company trip is going down to Nashville. So Tootsie's has put on a great party for us down there in Nashville. You got to pay for your own airfare, but we will see you down there.
Absolutely. Mean Gene, myself, next year, I will be at Nashville, Atlanta, and the Talladega October race. So reach out. You want to meet Mean Gene? Huh? I'll get your autograph because mine ain't worth anything, so that'll be a good time. Speaking of right now, though, ladies and gentlemen, all seriousness, we cannot do this broadcast without your help. So go ahead and take this opportunity to hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends about it. we'd love to do this broadcast, and what makes it possible is you, the viewer at home. All these drivers also appreciate the support that you're giving them. So anytime you get a chance, just give them a shout out. Call out your favorite driver. Hell, make merchandise, take pictures. I'll put it on the air. I ain't too proud. That'll be fun to watch. Who needs to wear a number 6 case of beer shirt? That'd be a lot of fun. Heck, get a picture of a car upside down. That's the Joe Volpus 98 See You on Monday car. Looks like Joe coming out of the pits right now. He not too long of a repair job for Joe, so hopefully he's going to keep that thing rolling. 71 seconds in the pit for Joe. That is a heck of a day.
After this thing all shakes out, Richard Swingle's going to be bringing these cars to the green flag as it drops. He is going to try.
We've
this
seen
again.
that before.
Yeah, he last pitted lap 93. I think he's in a little bit better position this time around there, Mean Gene, as lap 93. Well, I don't know. His last pit stop was only 5 seconds, so he is going to be on some older tires.
Mm-hmm.
So these
56 laps ago, 7 years ago, Richard Swingle took tires.
So it's lap 9. He's only got 9. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure there, Mean Gene, but everyone else looks like they topped off with fuel, and that's going to be Sean, Matt, Nate. Looks like those guys just came in and topped off. Cars that might have got some tires. Stephen Neal in the 45. Kyle and Knott had an 18-second stop. So just keep an eye on those cars. That might have really helped out Kyle. Didn't take those tires. Maybe took tires this time around. This might be his chance to really make up some ground. So we'll keep an eye on Kyle and Knott. And we'll see how Richard Swingle can hold on to this number 97 Blue Ice machine from Rubbermaid. So we'll see what he can do against Sean Walton, that number 23 Toyota Camry.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you say what you want about Richard Swingle. That guy makes some really nice paint jobs. 97 Richard Swingle. He does all his own paint jobs, does a lot of paint jobs for the guys out here. So if you're looking for a sweet wrap, that's the guy you could reach out to. I think he doesn't realize how good he is at it. So I don't know if he's charging or not. So get it while it's quick, get it while it's cheap.
That's
97 wrap job, Richard Swingle.
And then, yeah, speaking of meeting people at tracks, there, Mean Gene, you guys want to come out and see me at Fontana? I'll be there. Not sure when, but that's my home track. So yeah, come out and take a fight, and we can watch it get maybe built, maybe not. The front stretch is going into a warehouse building at the moment, so not too good of vibes going on out here in Fontana, but we're hoping for the best.
Hey, I'll tell you what, they're going to get it going again. Kind of like here at Kentucky. They haven't had an Xfinity race since 2020. But you know what? They are running here tonight. And we've had some good racing here tonight. There's been a few cautions. We've had 4. But overall, we've had some good racing. A lot of 3 wide racing. A lot of exciting passing. A lot of guys. Wides. Yeah, we've seen some 4 wides. We've seen some incredible testicular fortitude throwing blocks. Joe Amato has thrown amazing blocks. Jonathan Quesabir, really good stuff up here. So we're going to see now, because if Swingle wants to stay up in that lead spot, he's going to have to take a page out of those boys' books and start with that blocking. So here we are. The 97 is your control car on the inside. Go restart. He starts off fast. He's going to bring Matt Novella with him. 53 of Bollinger. He is the 3rd car in that inside lane. Outside lane, Sean Walton. Side by side, Nate Maurer. That 2nd car, he cuts down low. Nate Maurer, remember, he took 3rd last year and he won that first stage. Nate, no stranger to victory lane here at Kentucky. See what kind of work he can make. Sean Walton, Sean Walton, he almost had a shot at winning at the Roval in our Monday night series, but he ended up going a little bit too fast. Sean Walton, though, always a competitor. Fred Lister, look at that outside pass as he eats up 2 cars, as Nate Maurer does the same thing on the inside lane. Maurer and Lister putting on a show, going into 2nd and 3rd place. Novella moving up. And the 97, he's starting to go backwards. He's going to block the 69 of Christopher Knott on accident. Let's see if Knott can pass that 97 on the outside. That 69
the 97 is
car.
Dropping faster than a guy with cement blocks around his feet dropped off in the eastern seaboard.
I'll tell you what, you do not want to see him on Monday. The Klondike car getting involved in this mess right now. He better watch out. You got to be aware of the 97 because he is going straight backwards. This is really painful to watch. Chris Cornett.
Yeah, 98.
Cornett passes him and he goes, how about Cornett? He drives by going, yep, I know what that feels like because he was the victim of it the first two stages. I think at that point, you got to start wondering, it's just a tire issue. Certain cars, certain drivers on this track, they run about 10 laps and then the thing just gets wiggly. Wiggly. Richard Swingle falling back into 17th place. Unfortunate, but you got to take a chance. You know, if you're running 15th, following everybody else's strategy, why not take a chance? Maybe there's a caution on a restart. You find yourself up a little bit further. You come in, you get the tires and the fuel at that point, and you're ready to make a run to the end. But not today for the 97 as he finds himself fade back. Up front, though, heck of a battle right now as Fred Lister is going to take over as your leader as he passes Sean Walton. Nate Maurer in third needs to make a move, 56 of Matt Novella. And how about this? Dave Kirkpatrick making his way up there in that beautiful Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace throwback car. So top five all within close to each other.
Yeah, and then just let's keep an eye on that 980 Kyle Lynott. He's throwing down some fast lap times. That last lap was a 30.66. That's the fastest of the top 10 right now. So keep an eye on that 988 on fresh Goodyears. See what he can do as it's his time to strike and make some hay.
How about David Cook? He had a 46-second pit stop. I imagine he probably took two tires and got his own Klondike car in that pit.
I think so. He might have even churned the cream to making the ice cream as that 71 took quite a bit of long time. But we're looking for a big bounce back here from David. He's not gained. He qualified in 8th and is in an 8th. So he's running par for where he is at. But I know he'd like to have a better day than he's having right now.
Yeah, bad start. Got involved in some incidents there in that first stage. Another guy trying to recover is David Owens, last car on the lead lap, already finding himself 10 seconds behind the car in front of him and just fading backwards. David Owens, it's still the Utzi's car. Maybe one more caution, he could start to get that thing straight, but right now, Zero Chill finds himself fading at the back of the lead lap drivers. Other guys
up in the front though, Mean Gene. We got Sean Walton, Nate Maurer, and Matt Novella hunting down the 07 of Fred Lester at this moment. So Nate Maurer's trying to look underneath the Sean Walton at this time down the backstretch, Mean Gene, as this thing is starting to really pick up some momentum at the front.
Wow, look at Walton trying to make that move on the outside. You know, like I said, Walton had a great shot to win at the Charlotte Roval. He was running faster times than he did in practice, and I think that's what cost him. Started to wear out tires, took two tires, and ate it up. But Walton, this is a turn left kind of track, and he can handle that. Great rear shot coming out of the tail of Fred Lister right there, and you can see just how close Walton is. Walton going to cut down, try to make a move, but Lister so smooth. Lister's tasted victory lane before as he is trying to run that preferred line. Walton and he almost going to get side by side outside lane, though going to prevail. You can see Nate Maurer waiting to pounce as well. Nate, been a minute since he's been in victory lane. He'd like to get back up in there. Matt Novella coming into the picture. Kirkpatrick. How about that 48 of Scotty Estep coming into the shot? And Kyle Lynott, just like you said, that number 988 car on those fresher tires, he's going to be an issue. You can see how well he can hold that apron. Ooh, Walton off the pace, makes some accordion up as Maurer has to let off. Novella lets off to not get in the wreck. And look at the 988. He gets under the 27. Little bitty tap. 27 didn't want to give it up too easy. You got to play hard to get. But eventually Kyle Lynott is going to take that position. I think you might have been on the money, KK, telling us to keep an eye on that white and teal car.
Yeah, the last lap, you think he had a little bit of traffic, ran a little bit slower, but right now, 31.59 from Kyle on that last lap. Leader ran a 31.68, so he is the fastest on the top 5 as he makes his way into P4 as he battles against Matt Novella on the outside heading in turn 1. Looks like Sean Walton and Nate Maurer are starting to get their stuff back organized. Matt Novella, though, looking to be a little more impatient, looking to maybe dive it under the 971, but Kyle going to make that outside lane work, get this draft going down the backstretch and see what he can make happen.
Another fast mover on the track right now is the 45 of Stephen Neal, that 45 Toyota. He ran that fastest lap last time. He's come up from 15th place, suddenly finds himself in 10th, making that outside lane work. Stephen Neal, let's keep an eye on that guy as the laps start to tick off. Oh, there's Joe Amato, not going to block anybody. Good for you. Really good racing right now. Colin Bollinger falling back into 11th after that big win. So you in stage 2. So you got to wonder though. Fred Lester, he looks so good both stages, finishing up there at that front. Not a surprise to see him here right now. And unless Kyle Lynott can catch him on those quicker tires in the next 5 laps, I'd say everybody's on equal footing at that point.
Yeah, Sean up into the wall. They're going to make an evasive maneuvers underneath. He's going to give baby Nate Maurer a push. He looks underneath. His thinks better, backs off. Here comes Sean Walton back on the outside because of that let up. This is going to cause a big bunch up here as Kyle's got a decision to make this 3 wide or not. Decides better as he's going to fall back in line, maybe get some draft help and make another run headed into turn 3.
And look, Nate Maurer, he had the lead temporarily. He's going to try to hold that apron. We're going to see what kind of speed that outside lane has as Lister trying to make a move. Walton almost touches. Discretion, the better part of valor. He backs off, and look at this action. 7 cars so tight. Lister gets a little bit loose. That's going to cost Walton some speed. And look at the tires of Lynott holding that apron. Nate Maurer, he loves to see this. And here's a rear mirror, because even though the objects are closer than they appear, they are getting farther away. Look at Kyle Lynott. Oh my word. Talk about picking a champion right there. Good eye by KK. And right now, Nate Maurer, that's the car he's got to be worried about. Another car, though. Look at David Cook making his way into 7th. And he's in that little group of 6 right there trying to make it happen. Other car you got to wonder about is that 44 of Cornette. This is about the time in every run we've seen him fade a little bit. And let's see if he learned his lesson about those tires and if he can keep that Chevrolet going forward. Ooh, Fred Lister. I think people that get in the lead, KK, that must really put some wear on your car, because anybody who's been in the lead, we've seen them fade and wiggle and fade, wiggle and fade.
It might just be the adrenaline of being chased. I know if ever I'm in the lead, you know, you got that feeling of like, you gotta push, gotta keep that lead, you know, so it does seem to overdrive a little bit. As Matt Novella looks to dive it underneath that Kyle. Kyle tries to come down, pinch that off. Does not do a great job as he's going to let the 56 back in. I'm not sure. Maybe Kyle used up too much stuff trying to drive back up through the front as the 56 is battling it back out. And now it looks like Kyle Lynott might be fading now as maybe he used it up too much. There is a 23.98 touch. Just a little touch. Socks on, as we like to say here, as the socks did not come off. And they are still battling headed into turn 1 here.
Well, I tell you what, we got a friend out there named Farmer, and you want to keep your socks away from that guy. And it's not the way you're thinking, but it's just a thing. You got to keep your socks on out there. Nate Maurer, though, this guy right here won the regular season championship, caught up in trashes by other people, but now he finds himself in the lead, got a half a second lead over Matt Novella. Those tires of David Cook and Kyle Lynott now are equal to the other people. We see everybody having the wiggles out there. And so Nate Maurer, if he can keep this thing on the straight and narrow, he could have a great chance to find himself into victory lane. There are 18 laps to go. These guys have put 20 laps onto these cars. I don't know about pushing that fuel. We're going to see as this thing goes.
Touching 43.53 touching going in the turn here as Stephen Neal a little bit further back. 44 get a little loose off of that corner and maybe touch the wall, but yeah, close racing here all together. Me, Gene, what was the word on the pit fuel window again? I forgot.
Well, these guys were keeping it close to the vest. They knew that this was going to be that could become an issue, especially with the 2 stages, to try to find that opportunity to push your gas. So nobody wanted to reveal. Anytime I tried to talk to the driver about the fuel, there were drivers from other teams in there. So nobody was talking about it. Nobody was talking about fuel at all. So this thing is top secret as far as how far they can push this thing. Going to be interesting to see how that develops as this thing unfolds. Stephen Neal's brought side by side with Fred Lister, so I'm still watching that 45 car as he's trying to close that gap. Matt Novella put down the fastest lap that last time, closed that gap to 0.3 of a second. But still, Cook, Neal really running strong laps out there. Lister, he's playing it very patient. So lots of strong racing, lots of racing to go. 16 laps still to figure out who's going to be our champion here today at Kentucky. Great racing. Mean Gene Money, KK, watching this thing live with you guys at home. Heck of a race. Race number 3 of our 7-race chase for the championship. Colin Bollinger, he's got that lead right now, finds himself in 5th place. Nate Maurer, our champion, is our leader. Ooh, Lister and Neal getting tight. Neal's had one for top 5 this year. Wouldn't be surprised if he could pilot that thing up into the top 5 again. But the secret's going to be keep those tires from melting off the rims.
And then Mean Gene, we're going to go for a horse bath hot lap this time around with the Matt Novell on the 56. Remember, smell more pleasant than you do at present. Horse bath body wash. Thank you for your patronage.
I like it.
Okay.
That's a lot of syllables. I really do like that little guy there, though. Look at those glasses. That's cool.
Look at that mustache. I mean, I almost want to grab a hold on each side and take it for a ride.
Ring, ring. Wow. What a great shot right there from that horse bath body wash car.
Hey,
and also, Matt Novella, that is his sponsor.
Yeah, and Matt Novella might have something for this Nate Maurer here.
It's really easy to just become a fan at this point and watch as these laps are unfolding. To just see the lines that they're running, to watch, you know, when he's turning the throttle back on, when he's coming off of it. Look how smooth Nate takes that thing in there. Yeah, good battling still going back there.
Let's take a look at David Cook right now. Looks like he might be having a little bit of a battle himself as he's trying to get through that hornet's nest.
Yep, David Cook, but putting a smooth move right there on Kyle Lynott. Fred Lister underneath. You can see that number 8 of Andrew Bolander, Stephen Neal, and then a little bit further back, that is the 48 of Scotty Estep in 11th place. So that is where the good points are, and that's where these drivers want to get through.
Oh, Matt Novella.
Fred Lister's going to be a tough pass.
Yeah, but back at the front, it has got even closer just in that matter of seconds there, Mean Gene, as you take a look, that he has got to the back bumper. Knowing Nate, though, he would give up a lot of time just to save tire and then drive back away from Matt. But let's see if Matt's got the testicular fortitude to drive back up and take this win away from Nate Maurer.
Final 10 laps as we are watching a battle between Matt Novella and Nate Maurer. Matt has already tasted victory this year in our truck series. Nate Maurer has won 4 times this year in our Wednesday night Xfinity race, regular season champion. So these are the 2 guys we're keeping a close eye on. But who's made their way up into 3rd? That's Colin Bollinger. He had the fastest lap out last time. Colin Bollinger currently your chase points leader, trying to close that gap. Sean Walton, he's your wild card out there. Chris Cornett, David Cook, Fred Lister, Andrew Bolander, Stephen Neal, Kyle Lynott, top 10. Really good racing here. We got 9 to go. And the question is, what answers does Matt Novella have for the question that is Nate Maurer? Nate Maurer is showing people how to get around this track quickly. That last lap, just 0.4 of a second faster than Matt Novella. So Matty going to need to push it. And Colin Bollinger, he lays down the fastest lap that time. So he really wants to close that gap at 1.3 seconds. That's a pretty big jump on old tires.
That's right. I mean, Gene, as we are... Oh, someone got on the wall there. Heard a little bit of scraping as we're keeping our eyes peeled on this big battle up front. Can Matt Novella, the 56, chase down Nate Maurer and take away the win? Or is Nate Maurer going to ride off into the sunset here at Kentucky and grab himself a big win headed into the chase playoffs and make his case even more stronger why he should be the champion at the end of this year?
Oh, he wants to get back up in it. Those 2 last finishes, 24th and 18th, that's just not indicative of the 971 team. 56, though, Matt Novella, this guy, he gets hot. during the season. You know, he's not a checker or wrecker guy per se, but he's definitely a fellow that can find a hot streak and ride that thing. We just completed another lap, 6 more laps to go as we see this race continuing to unfold. Colin Bollinger, he put down those hot laps, starts to fade away. Fastest lap that last time, Nate Maurer, but Matt Novella right behind him with the second fastest lap. So these guys now, these top 2 cars, starting to pull away a little bit. Bollinger really came in nice to that last turn. I bet he's going to close the gap. But watching the top 2, you can see that great Horsebath body cam coming straight through that front window of the Horsebath car of Matt Novella. That's that number 56 Ford. That's a lot of Horsebaths.
I mean, good thing they sell large and the double XL large size of Horsebath when you're really in a sticky situation.
I'll tell you who needs a body wipe has to be Joe Volpus, victimized back there in that wreck, and it did end up costing him. I'm showing him back in 20th. So that definitely was a Horsebath body wipe moment for Joe Volpus when he had that incident. Oh, and that 11, that car is still driving sideways. Look at that thing.
It's in rough shape there, Mean Gene. Rough shape.
Yeah, it was. I knew that there was like a 12-degree bank going down the straightaway here, but that still ain't helping him.
And the leaders are going to go ahead and probably lap poor David Owens. They're adding insult to injury.
Yeah, you knew it was inevitable. Owens was not. He just had to be happy to be up to speed and not get not get flagged off of this thing. Wow. Lots of cars, lots of laps down. This is pretty wild. Still, look at that lead right there. Another fastest lap for Nate Maurer, 32.2, 2/10 of a second faster. So Novella might have used up a little bit, or as we have come to expect from Nate Maurer, he was probably just finding that smooth line and seeing exactly what kind of gap he needed to keep to preserve tires, but yet also preserve his lead. 2 laps to go here at Kentucky. Nate Maurer, he is being shown as your leader. Matt Novella trying to chase him down. I think we're going to see Matt start to use some different lines at this point. Remember, Matt Novella is also in that chase for the championship, and he'd love nothing more than to score him a big win. Matty currently in 5th place in the points. Nate Maurer a little further back. Nate being shown in 10th, 66 points back, but a showing today in 1st place. Definitely going to help him close that gap. Colin Bollinger, current point leader. He is in 3rd. Sean Walton 4th. Chris Cornett 5th. David Cook 6th. Really got to give a good thumbs up to David Cook to come through those 2 wrecks and milk that car out. I mean, that's a 46-second pit stop that last time for him. That was rough.
Yeah, me, Gene, and my dark horse pick of Kyle Lynott brought it all the way up to 2nd. Almost gave everyone a run for their money. Has fallen back all the way back to P11. So that just goes to show you, the skill of Nate Maurer and Matt Novella being able to, run different lines and do different things on those tires, and the skill they have to make it happen. As David Owens is going to race Nate pretty hard, not going to let him by as easily as he'd like, maybe.
Well, it's not going to help him, though.
Collusion. We got some shenanigans there. Or is that the end of the
971? And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. The 971 of Nate Maurer going to tap Owens across the line just for a good time. That is your winner, ladies and gentlemen, your champion here at Kentucky. Nate Maurer going to take the dub. Matt Novella will join him on the podium. And what a move at the end. Sean Walton passing Colin Bollinger. Sean Walton going to take 3rd. Remember, Walton also a cup chase for the championship driver. You can see Walton right there giving a little tap to Maurer. Been a minute since Maurer's been up on that podium. And Fred Lester going to come up and also tell him, hey, good job. And David Brenner going to come up and just crash both of them for good measure.
Yeah, taking a look at that pass from Sean Walton on Colin Bollinger. Wow, you can really see the 53 backing off of the gas there. More of
you think he might have
manipulating the race. Too bad it has to happen in these races. I'm going to call it out for what I saw. Saw a flame out that pipe. He was slowing way down to let the 23 by. but hey, I guess it's allowed, no problem. As
That makes
had a
no
lot of
sense.
issues.
He's the point leader. Why would he do it? Why? Poor K. Why? All right, so really good run right there. Great race, a little bit of cautions, a lot of four wide racing, a lot of wide open racing. Look at Nate Maurer celebrating that thing. He's taking his Polish victory lap. Gonna burn those tires right off of that thing. So your final finish: Nate Maurer first, Matt Novella, Sean Walton, Colin Bowling are going to take fourth, Chris Cornett fifth place, David Cook milks that thing around for sixth. Good work by his pit crew. Seventh place, Andrew Bolander. Fred Lister going to finish eighth. Aaron Espy, great run there by the 13 Chevrolet, finished ninth. And Stephen Neal, 10th place
over his head.
in
He
the
always has.
45. Looks like somebody's trying to get muted. Not sure who it is, but I'm going to go back and find out who it is, and I'm going to stick my size 11 straight up their tailpipe. All right, let's do some interviews. Really exciting racing. Oh, and he jumped out. He jumped out afterwards, too. What a knucklehead. All right, so
He always has.
I knew it. It is he of the front bumper, Sean Walton himself, showing his clown car. All right, let's get an interview. First person we're going to pull in is going to be Mr. He of the front bumper, Sean Walton. Sean, how you doing, brother?
All right, I'm doing all right.
Oh, man, you're doing better than all right. You're up on that podium, making that move there at the end on Colin to finish in third. Good stuff out there today. I'll tell you what, though, there was a lot of tense moments. You almost had that shot at winning the Roval on Monday. Tonight, a little bit better job. Was there a moment where you thought you had something for Nate?
Well, yeah, until I burnt my stuff, and it just killed everything. I was racing Fred Lester, just burned everything up, and then Nate got around both of us and just took off, ran away with it.
Yeah, if you go back and watch that replay, it looked like for a minute there, Fred was running that outside, Nate was running that inside, and they were passing cars two at a time together, just looking like the bread on a sandwich. But Sean, let's get back to what you did. Really strong run out there. What do you think was the tensest moment of the race for you?
The last restart, that whole last run. It just
1.7 pit stop. I mean, basically, you just took that splash and go, yeah?
Yeah. I thought I was gonna be short on fuel, but then when I got running, it corrected itself and I was fine. So I just ran. Not hard, but I guess too hard for the tires here. But all in all, I think it was tires were 43, 88, and if it was just it was an okay race.
Yeah, it was tough. You know, a lot of people taking that opportunity to go up high. And it was eating tires. We saw so many guys run about 10 laps wide open, and then those cars started trucking right up the track. We saw that happen to Noah Jackson. He was running up front all day, and then those tires got ate up, and up he goes. Well, Sean, great run today, man. Good seeing you back up on that podium, as always. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to, Sean?
I'm gonna give a shout out to my mom, my grandma, my boy Celtics, Colin Bollinger, Andrew Bolander, Hunter Manley, and my spotter D Smith for tonight. And just it's good to be racing on home track here at Kentucky, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Where are you from in Kentucky?
Versailles. Right around
Oh,
Lexington.
yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah, I've been there. I worked as an actor. I did a couple festivals there. I lived in Louisville for 18 years. Well, Sean, great work tonight, bud. Good to talk to you as always. Have a great night. Sean Walton, pilot of the 23 Toyota, takes it home for that third place win. All right, KK, I believe you got Matt.
Oh, Matt Novella of the Horseback Express himself. Great race, man. We thought you were going to be able to chase down Nate, but I had a feeling maybe Nate wasn't maybe saving something there for you to make sure he was going to be able to get that win. But what was it like chasing down Maurer there?
It was fun, man. It was interesting, just trying to run my line. I ran him down a little bit, but then as soon as I caught him, I just think he had a little bit extra in the tank. I think I just hit on my right front and just didn't have for him for any of the last 5 or 6 laps. But I don't know, it was fun.
And then Matt, what was the pit window like in this race?
Well, it depends. Some people were looking at 38 to 39 laps, but then some people were able to stretch it to almost 45.
Okay.
Like that first stage there. I know some people pitted. I ended up staying out, but I ended up having to clutch it on both ends of the track just to try to get some stage points. So
Right on. And then if a caution did come out late in that race, Matt, were you going to have a set of tires left to put on?
Yeah, I had one more set, so if there was a late race caution, I was ready.
Okay, did most of the leaders, the front pack, have a set left, or did anyone burn up
I
everything
think most of the guys had a set left, if not two.
Okay,
depending on what people did for strategy.
Well, hey man, Matt, great race tonight. It was exciting to see you try to chase down Nate. We were rooting for you there to make it close, and you did. So thanks for that excitement, and that's going to really help you out here in the chase going forward, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. The Horsmith Ford Mustang was fast tonight, man. So it's a good points day.
That's right, baby. And then Matt, anybody else you want to shout out to before you get out of here?
No, man. Just I guess all the crew over MRL. That's about it.
You got it, man. You're welcome, and we appreciate it there, Matt. And with that, Matt, we'll hand it back off there to Mean Gene.
All right, take care, guys.
Thank you. Back. Maurer's back. Tell a friend, Nate Maurer gonna pilot his car to the win. Nate, are you there, my friend?
Yes, I'm here if you guys can hear me.
Oh, I can hear you, my friend. What a run, Nate. You and Fred look like you two guys were just going to eat that field up, but you held that inside line. He was on the outside. He faded. You didn't. Is that inside line? I mean, could you save tires down there? Usually I'm eating them up down there. How did that work out on this track?
You got to save tire, man. The more you save in 1 and 2, the more you got in 3 and 4. That's what I did. I seen Womp Womp. Well, I told Fred, he was racing way too hard, running way too hard. He's like, I got nothing to lose, man. He's kind of hoping for that caution. I said, I'm just going to keep on saving my tires here a little bit. And they both kind of, you see them wash up in the middle of 3 and 4. I knew they were going to hit the wall, and I just pushed it a little bit harder to get around them. And the rest was kind of history. And then I kind of just was managing my gap between me and Matt. But he was only one mistake away from getting around me. And, I guess, he was only one mistake, my mistake of getting around me. But I just kind of kept saving tires there and started kind of pulling away from him towards the end.
Now, 41 laps on that run, was fuel in the back of your mind? You know, we made a joke at the beginning about gas mileage coming into it, and I know you're not a big fan of that thing. 41 laps, were you still good?
Honestly, I didn't even look. All I know is I kept on checking my fuel thing, and it kept on saying add 0.0 gallons. But yeah, you're right, man. I hate fuel mileage races. The first 2 stages were boring because we couldn't even freaking race each other. You know, we're all just kind of clutching it and saving gas. I don't know. If I was at a racetrack and had to watch out, I wouldn't be happy. But no.
I'm with you. I was at Talladega and watched the parade laps as they were 4 wide, holding back the entire time. It was a little bit maddening. It looked cool to the uneducated person, but to the folks that were watching those lap times, they knew exactly what was going on. There was some interesting moments though in those first 2 stages when y'all were doing that saving. We saw you kind of get caught up in the middle of some foolishness as well. Can you take me through that charge that you and Fred had when you were down on the bottom? I mean, y'all guys were eating 2 cars up at a time. Was people just off the pace, or were you pushing it at that point?
I think we just saved enough fuel there to push. I think you're talking about stage 2. I think we just saved enough fuel. I don't really know. David Owens knows. I was not happy trying to save fuel, so I was kind of driving like a complete D-bag out there, not running anybody over like I accidentally kind of wrecked Matt Novella 2 weeks ago, but just mad, just driving through the bottom. Tom just kept on telling me he's got nothing to lose. He's getting up to the front, so I kind of just followed him up through there.
Yeah, we saw y'all do that twice after that last restart as well. You guys just kind of cut through the field to find your way back up into the front. Matt was trying. Matt had he was trying to give you a little bit of something there at the end, but you guys were on the same tire strategy, and it seems like you just did a really good job of holding on there. Nate, I'll tell you what, man, 18th and 24th the last 2 weeks really had to be frustrated. This is a hell of a way to let people know that this thing is far from over. Nate Maurer with that big win today. Nate, anybody you want to give a shout out to today?
Yeah, I didn't get the race last week. I had to do a start and park because yeah, just for some personal reasons. So I did one lap and that was it. But we're 66 points out. Tonight win will help me. I know we missed a couple races during the regular season. Still came out the regular season champ. Got about 4 more races to try making up all these points. So we're going to see what happens. But big shout out to David Owens, even though he rigged that first stage for him to win it with the fuel mileage. I hope he's listening. But shout out to you guys for, staying up there and watching us race while you guys probably wishing you were racing. But just shout out to David.
That's my David Owens sound.
Everybody, just even the guys that aren't in the playoffs here, man, showing up to make it, or we had 29 cars tonight, and there ain't no 29 cars in the playoffs. So shout out to all the guys that still show up every week, even though they're not racing for a championship. And it was a pretty clean racing tonight. So let's keep it going, guys.
Yeah, hell of a run. Really exciting to watch happen right there. That's Nate Maurer, ladies and gentlemen, regular season champ. And now he's letting them know that he is back and he is here to fight so he can get that second ring. Nate, thank you so much, bud. Hell of a race. Have a good night, buddy. You earned it. Well, KK, I think that's about going to wrap things up for us here from Kentucky. They hadn't raced here since 2020 in the Xfinity Series, but we brought it back. Showed him what he was about. Nate Maurer last year finished third. This year, he takes that win. Any final thoughts for us?
Yeah, I think watching the different series, I'm not too big of a stage racing guy. It's just adds more confusion to iRacing, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it, but other than that, I thought we had good racing here in the Xfinity cars. A lot of different personalities, a lot of different characters that are throughout the field, and that's what makes it fun to watch. And excited for the last couple of races, and yeah, man, just another night here at exciting racing, and congratulations to Nate Maurer and the rest of the field. And yeah, for everyone coming out and racing, usually in the playoffs your numbers dwindle, but everyone's doing everyone's hanging in there, and 29 cars is a really good showing here for a playoff race.
Yeah, you still want to win. I mean, maybe you're not in the playoffs, but you still want to come out. You got something to prove. You want to get that W. You want to get that high finish. Maybe I didn't make the playoffs this time. I mean, look at a guy like Bobby Dodson, the driver of the 32 Napa car. The guy didn't get into the playoffs, unfortunately, but he still had stage wins, pole positions. So that guy's got a lot to prove. If somebody like that could pull off a win here in that second half, Alex McWhorter, he was right on the cusp, right on the edge of getting into the playoffs. So that's another guy. Jonathan Quesabir. A lot of these guys would love to get that win just for bragging rights. So you're right. It's great to see them keep coming out. And next weekend, speaking of keep coming out, we're going to be at Chicagoland. That's going to be a lot of exciting racing. Everybody's fast on that track. So who knows whose week it could be? Do we see Nate Maurer continue that dominance? Do we see Colin Bollinger continue to grow that lead? Hey, maybe it's going to be somebody like a David Cook, or you could see some of these outside guys. Maybe Joe Volpus is going to come in there and get his first win of the season. Who knows? We're going to keep an eye on the cars as they practice. We'll give you that update, coming into the broadcast. Let you know who we think is the guys to watch, as we always do. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, give us that like. Go ahead and give us that subscribe. Give us that follow. We need your help out there. I'm Mean Gene. This is KK. Have blast from all of us watching this race tonight. Thank you to all our sponsors, Horse Bath Body Wipes, and, of course, the Farmers Only Blimp. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us. We shall see you next time. And as always, bottoms up and hammer down.